Now, it's very interesting. In order to really enjoy this model, you've got to eliminate what you know right now. Take yourself back to the years 1939, 40. And remember, there were no cell phones, no TV, no FM radio. Phone numbers were 3 digits. So put yourself back in that era, and then you realize what a beautiful ship this was. My experience really began in 1938 when I read about the World's Fair being under construction in Flushing Meadows on Long Island. It's on the north shore of Long Island, just east of LaGuardia Airport, and it's on Flushing Bay. That's significant because when they were building it, they also had the marine terminal at LaGuardia Airport where the Pan American clipper ships would take off, and you could see that too. So the construction was an engineering miracle at that time, and it truly was a World's Fair. And when you approach this World's Fair, there's this huge, big cement ball. It's called the Perisphere. It was huge. And the nearest thing you can think of today would be Epcot. So you go into this thing. This was the entrance to the fairgrounds. And you went in and rode a magic carpet, which was probably little chairs. And you went around and up inside this big sphere, and you saw what the world tomorrow would look like. And you had pictures of 4-lane highways, superhighways, super skyscrapers, and so forth. Now remember, I was only 8 years old, but I read about this because at that time we were all avid readers. We didn't have any distractions such as TV or cell phones, etc. Then you exited and you started seeing the country exhibits. And the UK, the British Pavilion was right there. I knew something about what was going on because my parents have recently returned from a trip from England and Scotland. So we went in, and this was right on the wall, and I said, wow, I've never seen a model that big in my life. And I knew something of the Queen. It was a beautiful ship, and I knew about it from Life magazine because celebrities would disembark in New York, and they'd have photographs of them coming off the ship. And the ship, as I learned then, had several beautiful, had something I never thought a ship would have. They had 2 swimming pools. And they had, of course, the exquisite dining and woodworks inside. So it was a beautiful ship. After viewing that, you went around and saw some of the other exhibits of things made in the UK. And you have to remember that all the countries there wanted to show themselves off. So Elizabeth was the Queen and the honor of the British government. They really loved that. So it was a pride for them to have this model here. And the model, I don't remember if it was made just for this World's Fair or if it's been made before, but it's one of the last remnants now of that wonderful World's Fair. Getting back to the British Pavilion, the only other thing I remember is like in Costco today, they have samples of food all around. They had samples of shortbread. And I said, nah, this is no good. I'd rather have a good old cookie any day. I've never seen anything, a model of a ship that big. That was just purely amazing. And I knew at that time that it was a steam-powered, steam turbines, and it was a very fast ship. So that's really, I was impressed by the size and the shape of it. And it looked like a passenger ship should look like. And I even had little Tootsie Toys, younger, of a ship like that. Well, actually, I was in this area in 1962 through 65, active duty with the Navy as a Navy physician. And I came over here once on the James River Bridge with my kids, And we went through, and I think we came through the Bronze Door Society. After years of the Navy and private practice, I moved back here because I really didn't want to shovel snow anymore. I'd seen enough. So I came down here and I saw the ship was over there on the wall, but I didn't think much of it. And then the more I started to think, when we found it behind the wall there, a light went off in my brain, just like the advertisement. I said, that's the Queen Elizabeth. I saw that ship at the World's Fair. So that was my experience with that. I'm really very happy we have it, because I really love the history, marine history, and it's preserved, and that I like. I mean, people today have to really look at their past before they can go forward. And we've preserved a lot of this, and this is why I really like to work down here, because it's preserving, conserving these beautiful models and ships, and the history of the world wouldn't really be the same without the nautical value of ships. Remember, everything came to us by ship. And it's fascinating to realize museums really are about people. And you see the people who have built these things, the skills they had to have, the mindset to make something out of what they had at hand. So that's why I like to see these things and preserve them.